Excellent. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Apologies, my voice is a little bit weak today, but we'll get through it. Excited to have everyone here on a Friday with us. So, you're here for a holiday website workshop. The holidays are fast approaching, and we want to make sure that all retailers are ready to capture as many of those sales as possible. To ensure that, we teamed up with our friends at the Bike Cooperative and as SmartEtailiing to put together this workshop to make sure that we had your website ready, regardless of what your website solution is. We want to make sure you have all the tools so you're capable and ready to make sure that your website is dynamic for the upcoming season. Before we go into introductions and get the workshop rolling, I want to ask Rochelle Scouten, NBDA Development Director, just to lead us through a couple of tech pointers.
Yeah, thank you for being here. We really want this to be a roundtable, so we're going to do some, information up top that Suzie has put together to really help, show us what we should be looking at and tips from her. And then we're going to invite questions at the end. And if you'd like to raise your hand, there's a little raise hand button on the Zoom reactions. Or we'll ask you to mute yourself and ask your question, or we can use the chat and we can moderate questions that way. But we do ask that you keep yourself muted while other people are talking and save those questions to the end. And then if you have anything in the middle, just put it in the chat and we'll respond to you. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Rochelle. Yeah, really important. This is a workshop, so we want to make sure that everyone who leaves this today has a really great understanding. So all the questions, bring them forward. Let's get them. So I want to welcome Lacey Wynn. She is the membership director at the Bike Cooperative, a great friend of mine, been working really close with the NBDA and supporting retailers. Lacey, thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, so the Bike Cooperative is amazing. And I know you work close with SmartEtailiing as well. In our conversations, you were like, yeah, our retailers are going to get a lot out of today's session, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's more of an understanding about how the website is going to tie into a lot of the things that your store is doing and how there needs to be a cohesive message. So I think this webinar will definitely nail that down.
Definitely. And it's been great working with you and SmartEtailiing with our mailer promotion. And I know we have one of those going on now too. So thanks, Lacey. And Suzie, Livingston Communications Manager at SmartEtailiing. She's really going to take the floor today and lead us through the conversation. Suzie, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. I'm excited to be here. Before I was the communications manager at SmartEtailiing, I was an account manager and I got to help bike shops all over the country with their marketing. So I'm really drawing from that experience and a lot of things I learned from working with our retailers and on their websites. And just like Heather said, I'm from SmartEtailiing. I'll be sharing some examples from SmartEtailiing websites or content that we create, but really we want this to be applicable to everybody, all bike shops, all that good stuff. Your success is our success.
Yeah, Suzie, I mean, some retailers are saying that online sales are still thriving. Other retailers are saying they're seeing a small decline. So we're hopeful, right, that the tips you have today will really help capture sales and we'll see it incline, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the goal.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to let you take it away.
Cool. Okay, I'll get started. Yeah, so I really want this to kind of just be a casual conversation. I'll be leading us through kind of an agenda, but of course, all of our hosts are welcome to just kind of chime in whenever you see something, you want to add something, and we'll kind of go through some of those examples like I mentioned. So just like Heather said, holiday shopping is really kicked off. Unfortunately, we don't have like a crystal ball about how the season's going to go. And just like Heather mentioned, we're seeing some people with kind of flat or steady sales and some with a little bit of decline over this past summer. We're seeing that as well on SmartEtailiing websites. But, experts in retail outside of the cycling industry are projecting, that sales or holiday shopping has kicked off. Really, it's going to be kind of ramping up over the next 2 to 3 weeks. And e-commerce is going to be an essential piece of that. I think shoppers really expect to visit a retail business website and be able to at least see maybe their in-store inventory and be able to purchase for in-store pickup. So I'm kind of running off of that basis of meeting your customers where they're at in that way, and just kind of offering, you know, convenient ways to shop with you, and complementing that with a well-merchandised website, all that good stuff. So kind of, you know, first and foremost, we want to make sure that your homepage, or kind of your virtual front door, matches what you're doing in store. You know, you want to be, we're inspiring shoppers to find the goods that are going to kind of fuel their riding into next year. I'm always in the camp of like, a holiday shopping is always like 2 for you, 1 for me. So don't forget, when they're shopping for their loved ones, they're also shopping for themselves. And then welcome them in. So make sure they know that you're a holiday shopping destination. It's nice to land on our website, and it feels intentional. It feels seasonal. And you're acknowledging that this is why people are coming to you. You're going to present, you know, commonly sought after categories, which we'll get into, all that good stuff. And of course, keeping it fresh. So specifically about merchandising. So like we said, holiday shopping is really kicking off. I encourage everyone to get some holiday content up on their website in October, which is, oh my God, it's tomorrow. Where's my life going? But then keeping it fresh. I encourage everyone to maybe do some different types of content throughout the shopping season. So October, we like to lead with like a gift guide message. You're presenting that theme. You know, you're a holiday shopping destination. You're going to be easy to shop with. Here are some things that you recommend, all that good stuff. November, you know, of course, is kind of rolling into a key promotional period. So I like to kind of meet that kind of time period where it's at. It doesn't mean you have to run with like huge Black Friday sales, but maybe there is. I think a lot of people do have some inventory building, so that might be a good time to mark some things down. Maybe your brands are offering a national promotion, so kind of, you know, jump on that. Maybe there's some content oriented with that. But just, you know, make sure that, you know, it's easy, you know, click and collect, shop online, buy on store. You're convenient to stay in front of people. It's a time of year everyone's kind of getting fed a lot of messaging, so you just want to make sure that you're able to cut through the noise a bit there. And then December, so make sure it's, you know, last minute. I'm saying make sure a lot. I apologize for that. Last minute gifts. Guide shoppers to items that you have in store. If you are a business that offers shipping, maybe this is a good time to kind of switch over to that, you know, free buy online or free in-store pickup, and kind of what's in stock, what's in store, ready to buy now kind of messaging. So we can talk more about maybe some of the specifics of marketing towards the end, but we'll kind of keep rolling. So I did just kind of quickly put together a simply merchandised homepage just to kind of give everyone an idea of what I'm rambling on about here. So let's see if I can not mess up a screen share. Cool. Everyone can see this bike shop homepage. Thanks, Heather. I apologize. I'm not a Zoom user usually, so if I seem a little clumsy, this is why. Let's see. Oops, sorry, wrong page. Of course, sample homepage. Cool. So you land on the homepage. You have a nice 2020 holiday gift guide right there, front and center, so it feels nice and intentional. You're also reminding them of the convenient ways that they can shop with you with a free local pickup. A lot of this is nice evergreen content. Again, a kind of an ongoing theme of my personal marketing and what I always encourage with retailers is to make it easy. Like any way that you can make it easy to find what they need and for them to say yes is good marketing. So we just have a nice, just kind of shop by category of the most commonly sought after categories. This can vary by shop, of course. A nice little catalog carousel section. You can do a lot with this. Maybe this is on sale bikes, or this can become like a simple, you know, accessories under $50. Maybe it's like stocking stuffers or small gifts for Hanukkah, things like that. But nice and interactive, and you can kind of see visually, it breaks up the page a bit. You get some nice white space. You get a break from lifestyle images. And then we just kind of broke things up with a nice full with image advertising or promoting gift cards. And then more, simple, just again, just kind of making sure people know how easy it is to shop with you if you do offer shipping. We recommend like a threshold for free shipping. It kind of encourages people to maybe add on a few more items in their cart. And we can talk, if you want to reach out another time too, we can talk about like what makes sense for your business as well for what that threshold is. And maybe it's excluding certain types of items, things like that. But again, just another accessories section, of course. And these are evergreen, but it's still nice, and it just, conveys who you are. Maybe you have some special events coming up, make sure that's still on your homepage, things like that, of course, and then services, and just get in touch. So nice and simple. It's nothing crazy, but it's just got a few pieces that are intentional for the holidays. Cool. Sweet. So kind of moving on around maybe some specific holiday content ideas, and kind of coming back to that, making sure that you're making it easy for shoppers to find what they need and to get the right products in front of them. So like I mentioned, is presenting the most commonly sought after categories to shoppers. And this can kind of come in lots of forms. So, in stock is always a great one. I'm a huge convenience shopper, and I'm a last minute shopper. So I don't think I'm alone. So making sure that people know, like maybe you do have a section on your homepage that's in-stock gifts ready to pick up today, something like that. Kids bikes are always going to be a hot topic. Who doesn't want a bike for Christmas? I do. A whole nother story. But yeah, so that's a good one. Make sure that that's really easy to find. Sale items, of course, things that you want to move. Let's get that front and center. And then let's see, I have another example for everyone. Cool. So this was a last year's gift guide. What I really liked about it was, so this is the very top of the landing page, is right over here on the right. You have they're anchor links. So if I click them, it'll just navigate to that area of the page. But it's nice and straightforward. You got small stuff, like I mentioned, stocking stuffers or small gifts for Hanukkah, or of course any other holiday that you celebrate. Bikes, gift cards, again, really make sure that gift cards are front and center. A lot of times, I don't know, I'm the worst person to shop for, so clearly this is all about me. I just like thinking about telling my loved ones what they need to buy me. But sometimes you don't know. Someone's buying for an experienced rider. Like, I don't know what they need. They probably have so many things. Let them choose what they want. So gift cards, of course, apparel and gear, and then of course for the kids. So I'll kind of show you just an example of, so you see it kind of scrolls right down. This is a feature that you're going to see on many different platforms, whether it's, like Wix or Shopify, just built-in tools that you can do anchor links for. But yeah, shop for the kids, of course, and then some kids bikes and some add-on accessories, bike seats and trailers, kind of ride as a family. So all that good stuff. Yeah, so just making it easy to navigate, and of course presenting those most commonly sought after categories. And like I mentioned, we don't have a crystal ball, but this is really kind of tried and true. This is what we see. We pull data every year of what categories or what items are selling most commonly on SmartEtailiing websites, and working really closely with our retailers as partners. This is what's working, and this is what people are shopping for. Okay, let's see, what is next?
Suzie, it's been great to have you share your screen to show some examples of that. I
Mhm.
really like that last one that you shared with, the different items highlighted. So thanks, I'm learning a ton, so thank
Oh,
you.
good. Yeah, and there's lots of different ways that you can kind of present that information. Like I saw, like I showed, that was a pretty advanced graphic. Like I'm not a graphic designer. I couldn't create that. But I'm happy to talk about, and I have some examples that are a little bit more simple, that anyone could create with really any website platform. And it can be, nice and responsive and look nice on mobile. So I'll share some of those as well.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, keep rolling if that's good. So here's another piece. It's kind of, I think I've kind of mentioned this a little bit, but I do want to go into a little bit more specifics about presenting, maybe curated catalog sections, really making it, of course, easy for the shopper. That's always going to be, my theme with marketing, and what I always encourage retailers to do. So I'll kind of ramble on, and then I think examples are kind of the best way to display this. So I have many examples for this one. But some other ways you can kind of present the items in your store, or maybe the items from your suppliers and brands on your website. So shop by price, this is a really excellent tool. I always love a section that's maybe like $50 and under, great for on a budget, or of course, just some of those small items like I mentioned. I did mention stocking stuffers, things like that. Shop by rider, you could do like a curated landing page, kind of breaking things down of like, for the road rider, for the mountain biker, for the family, like that section we saw in that last gift guide, pardon me, that showed what a family would need to get out and ride together. Things like that. Maybe it's like racks and bags could be included in there, trailers, kid seats, things like that. And so you can get really fun with that, and it can be really simple. Rely on, lifestyle images from your brand. Again, you don't have to be a graphic designer to present a well-merchandised website that's easy to shop. I'll share some of those examples, of course, like I said. And then one that I really love, and I think it's really personal, is staff picks. Like, you all are experts in what you do, and the people that work with you are excellent resources that sometimes people who do step into your store, they're not going to get a chance to interact with everybody. But maybe a digital way of doing that could be really fun. Like, what do you love and why? What do you want? What's on your wish list? I think that's really fun. That's great to present in an email. You could do a simple landing page. Maybe it's, a little title that's like Picks by Suzie. And then maybe in that catalog section, I could select a few items that I really love, maybe things that I ride with. And that I would recommend. Like, if you came into the store and you're like, what's your favorite light? Like, this is my go-to. I'm going to put that in that catalog section. And you could have a few of those on your page from different members of your staff. Yeah, so I think it's a nice one. It's a really cool way too of like kind of, sharing your expertise and maybe sharing a little bit of the personality of the people that you work with. Like, I always loved at the shop I worked at, we all were different types of riders with different types of experience. Some of us raced, some of us didn't. One of my friends, like, she went all in, and her bike was her sole transportation device thing. Words are hard. And I'm a communications manager. Good times. But yeah, like, she knew everything about like how, like, she went shopping for her Thanksgiving dinner on her bike. Like, how fun is that? So yeah, rely on the people you work with. They have really cool and unique perspectives. Yeah, okay, let's roll into some more examples so you don't have to look at my face so much. You may still see it. Cool. So since we're doing this, it's just like a very opportune time to get you all set up for the holidays. Not everyone is holiday marketing up yet. So I had to get a little crafty on the internet. So some of these things may not be like holiday, but I think the examples still stand. it's still handy. So of course, REI, a good, I don't know, inspiration point to kind of check out. So what I really like about this is it's nice and simple. It's easy to navigate. It's something that a lot of you could do on your own websites. So this section up here, the great ideas to get them outdoors, we call this the hero. It's the very top section of a landing page or your home page, relying on that nice lifestyle image and then some text over. So you don't have to be a graphic designer to do this. Lots of different website templates and platforms will allow you to do this, to just add a nice lifestyle image, something that is seasonally relevant, that inspires people. You want something, maybe it's like a really cool riding image with a beautiful background. Someone's like, ooh, I want to experience that. This, of course, is a landing page, but if this was your homepage, I'd strongly recommend adding a link, back to like kind of that sample homepage. Like I said, you have the shop now right up at the top of the homepage, and it's going to drop them into that gift guide. So, that's how you could end up landing on this page. So of course, like I said, so easy to navigate. I like this, you got top gifts by price, like I said, gifts by activity, or it could be gifts by rider, and then shop all. So these are again our anchor links, I think, or I might switch the page. We'll just do a little sample. Yep. Anchor links, like I mentioned earlier. And then it's a nice mix of content in here. So you have some nice lifestyle images and then some product images to kind of draw people in and help them move around your page and find what they need. So I really like this one, kind of a fun example and nice and simple as well. This was another one from Backcountry, another kind of very similar example, nice lifestyle image. This holiday gift guide, this is probably like an overlay, like a small PNG. I think like there's lots of tools. I think they're like Pixlr and Canva. Is it Canva, or is that might be a bank, but in Colorado. But there's something similar. I can share resources later if you'd like. You could put something like this together, or just like that REI one, just rely on simple text over image to convey what you need to convey. So, and again, just another kind of fun way of navigating. These ones are a little bit more of a dynamic anchor link. So we're on stocking stuffers. This whole section changes. It's not going to drive you farther down on the page. This might be a little bit more advanced. I personally don't know how to do this. I'm just going to be totally honest with you. But the idea still stands. So kind of making it really simple to find what you need. They broke things up by activity, and then price point, and then stocking stuffers. So I think that's kind of fun. And then of course, nice and easy to kind of drive you into gift code. The right gifts for you, which is kind of fun. Gifts for pups. High on my list. You can hear my dog shake in the background. I'm sorry. Another gift guide example. So this is one of ours. It's a little more graphical, but there's some kind of cool things I think to pull out of here. For style, I think it feels festive, but it's not overly Christmas, which I think a lot of people appreciate. Anyway. So what I kind of liked about this was what's on our list, like I mentioned earlier, of like staff picks or what we're shopping for. Nice kind of bold headlines with a little bit of supporting copy, and then a link that will drive you straight into the catalog intentionally to that section. So that's kind of fun. So you could obviously do anything. This is a really simple section anyone could build on a website or any platform. And you could kind of mix it up. And where this could be, maybe it's like specific staff members, what's on their wish list. You could mix it up. Maybe you have like a favorite, a loved mechanic in your shop. I know we have a few of those where I live here in Fort Collins, Colorado. Maybe that's, you could do something like that, like what's on Mike's list, and it's kind of Mike is a mechanic in town here. He's quite lovely. But yeah, another fun way. And just kind of break it up. Just use different types of content sections to draw people in and kind of visually break things up. Sometimes we can get overwhelmed, if we just had this like greeny blue background everywhere and it was lifestyle image after lifestyle image. Sometimes eye just doesn't know where to land. So breaking it up visually really helps people kind of pause, take in what you want them to see, and take action.
Susie, one thing I was going to add, just as far as content goes, a couple things that I saw last year on some of my retailers' websites was they had a suggestion area for what type of rider are you purchasing for. So if it's a brand new rider, somebody that's never been on a bike, here's what suggestions are made by your staff or whoever, maybe like a starter kit sort of thing, or if they're whatever level rider, what type of rider, here are suggestions for the types of gifts that they're looking for. And that was a big help, especially for new riders, even kids, what's a good package, aside from just a bicycle and a helmet, what's a good package for a youth rider. So that was something interesting that I thought that would kind of break up a little bit of the typical stuff that you might see on the site as well.
I love that. You had so many good points in there. I think the package, that's kind of I love the idea of like a new rider package. And a lot of those things are like, that's like an evergreen kind of content idea. Like some of these things that you could, spend the time, invest the time to create it up front, but then you can use it year round. And maybe you just, make a landing page that's like a new rider resources with some cool like pre-packaged accessories. And then you can make a copy of that page and kind of holidayify it, or swap out some lifestyle images and use it for holiday. It's a really great like supplementary content, maybe your email marketing. So maybe you're sending an email about kids bikes. You have a cool like kids bikes lifestyle images. You present some products, some items you have in your store, and then at the bottom of like the additional resources, here's our kids bike buying guide, things like that. It could be kind of cool. Love it. Thanks, Lacey. I think that was it for that. See, I lost myself in my agenda. Just a second. Perfect. That actually leads me into supporting copy. So we really talked about, presenting easy to shop content on your website that's very holiday focused. But what about some of that supporting content? Maybe helping guide people to some resources that's going to help them, maybe find gifts for themselves, find gifts for their loved ones, just ensure that they're going to like roll into 2023, no pun intended, ready to get out and ride. We don't want to forget that so many of us, we hit January and we're like rearing to go personally. So let's just make sure that we have that content. And like Lacey said, like a lot of this is evergreen. This is great things that you can rely on year round. It's going to just reinforce that you're an expert in what you do and that you are a resource, and there's a reason why people come to you and keep coming back to you, that you have the right information to help them get the most out of their bikes. It's not like you just sell them a bike or sell them an accessory and you never see them again and you don't want to see them again. Like, I think we're all in this industry because we really want people to love their bikes, right? So there's some cool ideas, and then of course you can kind of lean on it for maybe some supplemental marketing, whether it's like a new resource section at the bottom of an email. Just kind of mix it up so it doesn't feel like you're just like sale, item. Okay, more screen share from me. Cool. So this is an example of a kid's bike sizing guide. So, since so many people, like I mentioned, or more and more people really are shopping online, they want to be able to purchase a bike, which is a pretty advanced and a big purchase online for in-store pickup, and secure what they want. They know it's theirs, they can ready to pick it up, So I thought this is kind of a cool example of a kid's bike sizing guide. I mean, who doesn't want to be this little girl with her little pink cruiser? So right up top, just some tips of why would you want why they want to shop with you, maybe maybe some of the perks and benefits of buying a kids bike from you. Maybe you have a kids trade up program. Um, you help with helmet sizing, and you're going to ensure that they have the right bikes and help maybe like make adjustments to the bike, you know, while they grow to get the most out of it, little things like that. And then it just kind of rolls into like a few catalog sections that break down what is, you know, typically the right size bike for the right age or size child. So just kind of a nice tool. Like I said, you're sending out a kids bike email. You can link this at the bottom, help people see like, oh, you know, I have a 3-year-old. I think one of these will be great for them. And it, you know, maybe they purchase it online, or maybe it just draws them into your store to interact with you, and that good stuff. Yeah, it's kind of a fun resource. You could even do, you know, a section at the bottom for small adult bikes if they're ready to move up to that, maybe something like that. So I guess that's kind of 24-inch mountain bikes and things like that. Resources about electric bikes. I think these are still, it's a tumultuous topic, I feel like, but another just kind of an example of a resource. It doesn't have to be electric bikes. This could be about mountain bikes. It could be about cargo bikes, really anything that you specialize in that someone might want a little bit more information on, and that you can kind of lean on some of this fun content that's it leads with informational rather than shopping, to again just reinforce that you're an expert. It's also really great for SEO, having evergreen content like this, kind of boosts your credibility. Google loves it. And it's also just nice to update your website with. So yeah, kind of stuff like that. What else I got over here? Oh, is another one kind of similar to Lacey's example, a new cyclist guide to the perfect ride. You could do lots of different spins on this, of course. But yeah, just kind of rolling through, you know, maintenance basics. Maybe someone they know just bought a bike but they don't know how to care for it. Things like that. Maybe you offer like maintenance courses, or great time for a gift card to take care of their bike. And then you can kind of lead with some of the most common accessories or how to get the most out of the ride, all that good stuff. Lots of different takes on this. This is obviously, like I mentioned earlier, this is an example that's something that's like very graphic heavy. You know, a graphic designer did put this together, but it doesn't have to be this elaborate. I thought this was kind of a cool example from Backcountry. It's pretty simple. This is focused on essentials for your next hike. Obviously, you could really make that about anything. Maybe you are also like a snow sports dealer. Maybe you do also have other outdoor goods. You know, however you can spin this to whatever works for your business. But kind of like that earlier REI example, you have that nice lifestyle image with text over. This is going to look great on any device. It's going to load really quickly. That's another kind of, especially if you're not a graphic designer or know how to design a graphic that's going to be an ideal size, or resize appropriately on mobile or tablets, all that good stuff. This is a great way to go. So yeah, and then it's just really just kind of simple and text-based. You could mix in, you know, they have some nice lifestyle images. You could add a catalog section in between some of these text blocks to break things up a bit, but it's really nice and simple. I think, you know, if you're comfortable with your website, anyone could do this. I bet everyone on this call could list 5 things that are essentials for their next ride. Yeah, so it's kind of lean on your people for that. But yeah, nice and simple. I think it's just kind of a cool example. And again, it's great evergreen content. If you did as, you know, top 5 essentials for every ride, like that could be up year round. You could pull it in every once in a while to email marketing or social. It's a good in-store resource. That's another piece about some of these supplemental content pieces. All that good stuff. Cool. Sweet. So we're almost wrapping up. I have just a few more pieces, some things that I've mentioned, but I just kind of want to reiterate. So we talked a lot about shopping, e-commerce and catalog sections and all of these things, but there's some other things that I think are really important just to get in front of your customers around the holiday season, especially. So like I mentioned, gift cards. Make sure that you have gift cards available for purchase online, and kind of keep coming back to that throughout the season in your marketing. It's a really good resource. People who don't know what to buy, people never know what to buy. For me, I'm like the pickiest person ever. Gift cards always good. I don't know if anyway you're shopping for me now. You know what I need for the holidays. Gift cards. Anyway, and then financing and payment options. So I do recommend having, if people are able to purchase items on your website, offer a few different payment options. So maybe, that's like the major credit cards, and you have PayPal, and PayPal financing, maybe something like that. Or maybe your website integrates with some other financing options. There's like the pay in 4 different ones. I think PayPal offers that, but like Klarna.
Yeah, Susie, I can speak to this too. When you, as far as bike co-op retailers go, they usually typically use Synchrony for financing, and that's a huge tool to add to your site in general. But I think especially during the holidays with shopping, everybody's going to need some payment options, and financing also increases average ticket. So having that listed very clearly on your website, and also having it be the same message that you're going to include in your email and include in your, whatever program you offer, but make sure if you're offering 12-month financing, it's very clearly listed on your webpage where that customer can go and apply. And then they can actually, with Shopify, we're integrated there where they can actually make purchases with their cards, with Synchrony. And I know that Klarna is also an option, but making sure that that's clearly listed, because financing is a really huge thing right now. And people will definitely be taking advantage of it through the winter months.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Could you tell that that's like not my expertise?
Yes, it's definitely mine. So we, at the Bike Co-op, we have a lot of suggestions for presentation and all of that good stuff. And also, I think it's a great way to market. If you have card holders out there, you can market to them as well, and try to make it a package deal. Like if they're going to purchase a kid's bike, then they can also purchase a couple other bikes, and it can be all in the same purchase. And for holiday last year, our retailers were pushing 18-month financing and did I think they did more than 5 million in sales in 2 months just on financing.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you for adding that. And then another kind of, I guess, service oriented thing is like layaway or gift storage. I don't think it has to be like a true kind of layaway program, but another way of kind of conveying the convenience of shopping with you. So, and especially depending on your region or where you're located. So maybe people need to rely on you to hold on to their gifts. Buy your kid's bike and we'll store it until Christmas Eve at this time, or something like that. Some simple things like that, or just easy ways that you're able to accommodate their shopping, kind of like the financing we talked about. Another important piece, this isn't very service oriented, but hours. So we're rolling into the time of year anyway that a lot of retailers are changing their hours in general. So, and then of course, rolling into a time where we have more closures or shorter hours at certain times. So make sure that you're conveniently sharing that with your customers, that your website's up to date, your Google My Business and your social accounts are all aligned on your hours. And then remind people of what maybe your closures are going to be, or your shorter hours as you approach those days. Yeah, super convenient. I don't know how many times sometimes I have to like check a website and then double check social or something on a holiday just to be certain. You're like, I don't know, I'm just gonna go and see what happens. So yeah, just make it easy for folks. I think that's kind of the moral of all of my stories here. Yeah, does anyone else have any other maybe holiday oriented services you think are important to add?
I do think that offering rewards, a lot of shops offer rewards. tons of different platforms, but you could see on REI's site, they had the banner at the top that was saying rewards, you get certain points for certain things. If you do offer rewards, I think it's really important to drive that through the months and maybe offer certain incentives for the rewards program. But making sure that your customers know that it's also, that's a big thing through the holidays, having that really focus there, because REI does, and they have a phenomenal rewards program. So
Yeah.
that's what bike retailers are up against. So they should definitely have something listed.
Yeah, I love that. And yeah, so many great points there. Rewards in general. I mean, that's a pool of your captive audience that you can market to specifically. Maybe you have a special offer for them. Maybe there's like bonus points on certain types of items. And also see what your competitors are doing. Or I know when I'm trying to look for marketing inspiration, like I do look at things like REI or other companies that I look up to and respect. Maybe matter what do you think about REI? You know, but they do have a loyal fan base, and so I think there's always something to learn there. Yeah, thank you so much.
I think it's just the incentives. As much as you want to present all of your product in a really clear way and make it easy to shop, I think it's also incentivize them to make purchases. Even in November, one of the things that we were talking to bike co-op retailers about was that the messaging might change a little bit from November, December, even the imaging, because even depending on where you are in the country, the holidays look a little different. So so just making sure that you update those two things and also have very clear messages, but change them up. Don't just have like the same message for the next 3 months. I think it's important to kind of break it up.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point. As well, of course. And yeah, like the chances are you're gonna have someone who visits your website in maybe today in September and is going to come back a month from now. So make sure you're just showing them something different. I mean, that kind of stands year round.
Mhm.
All that good stuff. But yeah, I love that. Cool.
I have
So
one other thing I would add. I think like having a chat, sorry on my voice, but having like a chat box or some kind of interaction so you can help with some concierge shopping would be really helpful as well.
yeah, I think really I hate referring to like I think everyone's so sick of it, but like COVID, I feel like that really changed how accessible we need to be on our websites. We saw a huge uptick in people using live chat services. There's lots of different ways to use them. You don't have to have someone like sitting there and that's their sole job monitoring it 24/7. You see ones, pop up that are just like you could leave a message. So essentially just it's like a simple way to send an email, but it's simple, it's easy, it's going to pop up typically in that bottom right corner of your website, of someone else's website. And they can throw their question out there and then you can re-engage with them, maybe suggest items for them or additional resources, things like that. So that's a great addition. Thank you. Cool. So you've done all this work on your website, right? You're all set for the holidays. It's looking great. But let's proactively reach out. So I do recommend, just like we said, the kind of like maybe having a plan. You're going to change your content up a bit, yellow, throughout the months. Kind of plan out your marketing accordingly. Have it match. Like if you're sending an email, having that theme kind of matched throughout is going to feel really nice and cohesive and intentional and draw people in, and they're going to get a nice, consistent experience. I think I said the same words like over and over again just now, between your store and your website and other ways to interact with you. So email marketing, I love to plan ahead. I think I've kind of rambled on a bit about like how you could lay out content. I'm happy to talk more about that if anyone has specific questions. I do want to save questions. I do want to make sure we have time for questions for them. So I'm going to roll through this kind of quickly. So yeah, plan ahead, create an email schedule ahead of time that aligns with your website and in-store merchandising. Social, I do recommend if it's possible to integrate your online catalog with your Facebook catalog, which will push to Instagram as well. That way you can tag your items and link to your website directly from your social posts. So that's a really great tool. And then I think kind of the most advanced piece I would say is Google Ads. If you're already running like search or display ads, maybe just freshen those up, get a holiday message in there that aligns with your marketing plan for the next few weeks. If you're running with a gift guide for October, maybe get that in there in your display and search ads as well. And then of course, Google Shopping ads. There's a few different ways of doing this. I'm happy to provide some more resources and information afterwards as well. But yeah, if someone's searching for a specific item, just make sure that you show up as soon as possible in their search results. And Google Ads are a really great way to do that. So I rolled through that part pretty quickly. I just want to make sure that we're able to chat a little bit and have some time for questions.
Excellent. Thank you, Suzie. Does anyone on the call have any questions? You could put them in the chat or just go ahead, unmute. All right. That's what happens when you're so thorough and you have such great websites to show.
Well, I'm happy if anyone wants to shoot me an email or anything like that with some specific questions. I'm happy to address them.
Yeah, maybe if you put your email in the chat so people could pull it out, that'd be awesome. Lacey, great points you added. Thanks for joining us on the call today and everything as well.
Of course, always glad to jump in.
Now is the time though to get started on this, right? It doesn't, it'll sneak up on us otherwise, so.
Yeah, right. I mean, now's really the time to take action. I really recommend getting some holiday marketing up on your websites and start presenting some of these topics like we talked about. In the next couple weeks, I think is ideal. I think we're going to start seeing more and more retailers, not just bike shop, just retail in general, with their holiday marketing. And if you see something you like take inspiration from that. If something draws you in and makes you want to purchase or gets you to click, take note of that. I think that's kind of one of the best resources.
Fantastic. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I see Suzie did put her email in the chat, so you can steal it off of there if you'd like to. Thanks for the couple of great comments coming into the chat. Love to see that. And yeah, everyone have a great weekend and we hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much, Suzie and Lacey.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. I hope I was able to provide some good resources or ideas for people.
Awesome. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you. All right. Bye.
Bye.